Hi, this is Toby, and today I'll be showing you how to grow Massonias from seed. And Massonia is a very interesting South African bulb. It produces a pair of leaves at the start of each growing season, which is autumn, which extend, and also produces a bud, which produces really interesting clusters of little flowers. And today I will be showing you how to grow these guys from seed. And it's not that hard to grow these guys from seed. They're actually self-fertile. I've got a Massonia long chippies here. I've got some seedlings from this plant. This is ones that's germinated last year. I do have more that's germinated this year. But today I'll be showing you how to grow them from seed. So we're going to start with pollination. And once your Massonia blooms, you can see the flowers come out and you can see the anthers and the stigma. Now there's obviously different types of Massonias. This was Massonia depressor. You can see the flowers look quite similar with the anthers and the stigma in the middle. And there's a lot of these little flowers and you can get lots of seeds, so I will show you how to pollinate them. So what I have here is actually something you clean your teeth with, this little brush, I guess you could call it, with a little tip. Now you don't have to use this, you can use any tool, a Q-tip, a paintbrush, as long as you can get pollen from the anthers into the stigma. And all I'm going to do is, I hope you can see, just grab some pollen. Maybe grab one that's actually open. You can see it's sticking on the end here. So I'm just going to grab a bit more. And then by locating the stigmas, which is the ones that are pink on this plant, I'm just going to go around pollinating them. And do this a couple of times. And once they set seed, you'll know, because the flowers will die back. And at the base of each flower, it'll have a little fleshy green capsule, which then in spring it'll start to shrivel away and you'll get the seeds. So I will do that to this plant, and once the seeds start to set, I'll show you. If I just show you, that's what the seed looks like, the seed pod, an individual one. There's going to be a lot in there, so we're going to let that develop. Same with the Massonia depressor, there's a seed pod in there starting to form. The Massonia postulata, we'll have to wait for a bit because the flowers are still wilting, but yeah. So here is an update of the Massonia seeds, or seed pods I should say, and you can see they are starting to change color because they will be ripening soon. And look at how beautiful these seed pods are, look at them. Even on Massonia long chippies, even though it's not as big, there's just so many seed pods waiting to ripen, and I will be taking the seeds out of it, and in autumn we will be planting them. Alright, so here we are. I've got a little container just so I can put the seed pods in. I think if I just gently pull, you can see they just come straight off because they were a lot more ripe than before. I did bring my blade out in case I need to cut stuff, but I can just get away with pulling them because these are ripe enough. So I don't need, see, the entire thing just comes off, so that's even better. You can see nothing's damaged, everything's just come off. So this is kind of the entire head that I will be harvesting. I will put my plant away because it doesn't need to be here anymore. Here's kind of the head, or the inflorescence, and I'm just going to tip it upside down, give it a good shake. You can see some seeds should come out. Again, if I do separate each individual one, let's look at the seeds inside. Look at that. This one, for some reason, didn't have that many seeds. That's okay. I am going to just slowly peel them and put them in here, and once I'm done, we'll leave them outside. So I will harvest all the seeds and show you how much seed we actually got from this plant. So I have just removed all the seeds out of the seed pods. I kind of tore it apart. Here's what the old inflorescence looks like. Look how many seeds we got. Now, some of the seed pods had significantly more seeds than the others. Some only had 3, some had less than 3, some had a lot more than 10. So it wasn't really consistent with the numbers of seeds in the seed pod. I think that's probably due to pollination, and again, if I cross-pollinated with another individual, there's a chance I would have gotten a lot more seed, but I'm going to put these in a little bag and show you what it looks like. So here are the seeds, look at them from this plant. Disclaimer, I won't be sowing all of these seeds in the next part of the video because I have promised some people to give them some seeds. I probably will end up sowing, I would say, around a third of these seeds. There is a lot, look at it. just all lined up in a grid kind of. And this is really good. I can sow them and eventually I can give away more plants to other people. But again, very easy to grow from seed, very easy to produce seed, these Massonias. I've got one more Massonia I've yet to harvest seed because it's not ready yet. Even though the plant is starting to die back, I will have to wait a while. So the seeds on the Massonia long chippies are also ready to harvest. I won't show you this one because there's so many and it's going to take forever, but I'm going to do it the same way as the previous one. The other two Massonias, you can see that they've died back. The Massonia depressor, it's died back. I can pretty much store this away. You can see that this stuff is dead. I'm going to just sprinkle some systemic insecticide on there and we're storing it. So here are all the seeds harvested, and let me show you everything we've harvested so far. There they are in these packets. Again, I will be giving a lot of these seeds away. You can see they look very similar, and all we have to do now is wait until autumn when the weather cools down again, and we will get to sowing those seeds. So it is time to sow the seeds, and I'm sowing the seeds now because it's about to get really cool really quickly. The weather's cooled down, especially at night. Sometimes it goes under 10 degrees already. So I've got my seeds, or what's left of my seeds. I've given a few away and I've taken out some more because I don't need this many plants. And most likely all these plants are going to be growing, they're going to be given away anyways. So I've got my pots here, and any pot is okay. I find they're not that picky. Same with the soil. I've just used some regular cacti and succulent mix you can get from the store. I haven't mixed this up myself. I find that the bulbs aren't that picky when it comes to the soil. And I'm going to sow the seeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these bags with sand and sow my seeds how I like to sow them. Let's show you how this is done. I've got a packet of seeds here. I've got sand in here, and what I like to do is I like to mix this around just so the mixture is filled with sand and seed, because I find that this gets the seeds out relatively easier than just picking them out one by one. So now that I've mixed it for a while, I'm going to put this in the pot. So I've got Massonia depressor over there. Let's take this. Let's open. Let's see if I can open this. I've opened it, and now I'm just going to pour the sand and seed mixture across the entire pot, and this spreads the seeds out just like that. You can see everything is empty. This bag can go away. And now I'll do it for the next pack. Same idea. Everything's going to get mixed. So I will just sow all the seeds and show you. So now that everything's sown, I've got kind of a mister here. I'm just going to mist everything in, spreading everything out even more. This helps to make everything wet. It doesn't matter if the seeds aren't covered by sand. So these won't go in full sun. They'll probably be kept on shelves, and they will germinate when the temperature really cools down. So don't be discouraged if your seeds don't germinate within a few weeks. Wait for it to get very cold, and they will soon pop up really quickly. So I'll put these away, and I'll make sure everything's moist. If something starts to dry out, I will just carefully water them, making sure not to wash the seeds away. And you shouldn't have any fungal issues. If you are worried about fungal issues, I do recommend putting some systemic fungicide in there. I'm not going to put any because I'm going to keep these uncovered. You don't really need to cover them. So I'll put them away, and I'll show you an update when they actually germinate. So here is a Massonia update, or Massonia seed update. The Massonia postulata has started to germinate. I don't know if you can see those little green leaves. Those are the seedlings germinating, and that's how small the seedlings are in the first season. The others haven't germinated yet, and I'll talk a bit more about them when more of them germinate. So here's another update of the Massonia seedlings. You can see I'm getting them all starting to germinate. Maybe not that one. What's that one? It's Massonia long gyppies. I haven't seen that one starting to come out yet. But the other two are germinating. That's really good. They will just have this one leaf during the first season, and I think I'm just going to talk about what you can actually expect from your Massonia seedlings and when they will actually start to look good. I bring you here to where I grow my bulbs. You can see my other Massonias are here. This one didn't come out properly because it got sunburnt. It came out too early and now the leaves are damaged. That's just too bad. But anyways, I'll show you the seedlings. So this was the one, or these were the ones that I grew in my other video, how to grow South African bulbs from seeds. You can see this is their second season of growing. They only produce one leaf. Now I know this looks like there's two leaves there, but those are just two different plants. They will grow just one leaf. The leaf can get quite big. There are no colors or patterns on it. This is from this plant. All of my Massonia seedlings are from this plant. So you will not get any pattern on them in the second season. Now if you wait till the third season, if you're lucky, you could either get a plant like this, and let's just compare these two. You can see they look very similar, or more similar than those two, this one, because this actually has two leaves. When I put it in the sun, you can see the patterns, the dots and the stripes. So that's 3 seasons old if you're lucky. No flowers, they'll bloom probably next season or the season after. Otherwise, you could also get 2 leaves, but there's just no pattern on them. These 3 I'm going to sell, so you probably won't see them in any future videos. These 2 are also the same age, and you can see they only have 1 leaf. So if they don't grow too well during the second season, they're not going to get 2 leaves. Although the second leaf might come a bit later. You really want them to grow really well in the second season for them to look like this in the third season. So it'll take at least 3 or 4 years before you can get a plant to flower, and you'll probably have to wait longer before you get something like this. But I think it's worth your time growing. They're really beautiful, and once they mature, they're easy to take care of, and the flowers are amazing. So we'll get back to showing you the updates of the seedlings. Here's another update of the Massonia seedlings. They won't really do much at this stage. They'll just have the single leaf. They could be getting a bit more light if I move this out into a sunnier spot, but I don't actually have space for them. Ideally, you do want them to have a bit more light, but that's okay. I'll show you the seedlings we grew before. These are the ones from a season before. You can see if you grow them well, you can actually get them that big. But again, they don't really do much in the second season. They may get a second leaf like that, but really in the third season, that's when you could get the markings on it. And here's the parent plant. It's got seeds again. Again, really healthy plant, but again, very easy to grow from seed, but you got to be patient if you want to get a plant that looks like that. So here is a final update of the Massonia seedlings, and I'll tell you what to do with them over the summer. So these aren't going to die back that quickly because I've kept them under the shade and it's not that warm, so they might get an extra month and a half of growing. But even though they do get an extra month and a half of growing, it's probably putting energy down into the bulb, so you're not going to really notice too much more growth on the top. I'll show you what happens with my older seedlings that I've kept out in the sun. So these seedlings are growing in their second season. These are growing their third season. And because I've kept them in the sun, it's much warmer. They've started to go dormant. And as your seedlings go dormant, I recommend putting systemic insecticide and systemic fungicide so you have no issues with them when they actually go dormant over the summer. And once they go dormant over the summer, I just keep the pot under the bench and I don't water them at all because they don't need water, and if you do water them they could actually rot. So even the small seedlings, they don't need water over the summer, and especially if you're growing them under the shade, they won't actually go dormant for that long because they've got an extended growing season. But for these seedlings that are much bigger, they can go the full summer without any water. Same with the older plants, you can see they're starting to go dormant as well. I'm going to be collecting the seeds soon. But again, these are very easy to grow. I've shown you the entire process of growing them from seed. And in maybe 4 years, you'll get them to bloom. This is around 3 years old, this plant, and it's already got the markings, whereas some of them don't. So it is quite variable, but I would say in 4 or 5 years, you should be able to get a plant to bloom. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll answer them. Anyways, thanks for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.